on number 6, again, we think about what we have on each side of the equal sign. Here's our equal sign. It divides our equation. On the right side, we have one constant, one variable. There's nothing we can do to combine those two. On the left side of our equation, we have parentheses with a negative on the outside of those parentheses. So we know before we can start combining anything, we have to use the distributive property to eliminate those parentheses. When we have just a negative sign on the outside, you can think of it as distributing a negative and just changing the signs of what's inside. Or you can actually write a 1 there to say I'm multiplying everything by a negative 1. I'm left with 4x minus 9, because negative 1 times 9 gives me minus 9. Negative 1 times negative 3 gives me plus 3x. Equals 8x minus 1. Okay? Now I can think about on the left side. My equal sign is still in the same place. Make it a little better. On the left side now I have 3 terms. 2 of those are like terms. 4x plus 3x gives me 7x minus 9, because I haven't done anything with that constant yet. On the right side I still have 8x minus 1. Now I can decide which side do I want to take variables to, which side do I want to take constants to. Let's bring variables to the left, this side, and show you what happens when we have a negative coefficient. Alright, 8x minus x gives me 0. On the right side I'm left with negative 1. On the left side I have 7x minus 8x, so that's negative 1x. I don't have to write the 1, you can if you want to. Bring down the minus 9. I've got the variable on the left side, so I want to take the constants to the right side. So I add 9. I'm left with negative x equals positive 8. I'm not done because I have negative x. Remember that coefficient is a negative 1. So I divide by negative 1, and I get x equals negative 8. Okay, problem number 7. Parentheses again. We're going to distribute again. This time we're distributing a negative 7. Negative 7 times 1 gives me negative 7. Negative 7 times negative 4x gives me plus 28x. On the right side, one variable term, one constant term. Can't simplify. Okay, now I can bring variables to the left, constants to the right if I want to do that. So I subtract 8x because I have positive 8x. On the right side, the x terms cancel out, and I'm left with negative 47. On the left side, I haven't done anything with that negative 7, so I bring it down. 28 minus 8 gives me 20, so that's plus 20x. Okay. I've got the variable on the left side. I want to take constants to the right. It's negative 7, so I'm going to add 7. If I add 7 on the left side, I have to add 7 on the right side. 20x equals negative 40. Divide both sides by 20, because we always want to end up with 1x, and we get 1x equals negative 2. Okay, on problem 8, we don't have any parentheses with anything that we have to distribute. We do have parentheses around a negative x, and that's being subtracted. So the first thing we're going to do is just rewrite that subtraction as addition. And we're going to have 5x plus 2 plus positive x equals negative 34. That's the only thing I changed in there, and that's just because that makes it easier for me to deal with that. Now, think about where my equal sign is. I look to the left of that. I have 3 terms. 2 of those terms are like terms. 5x plus 1x gives me 6x. I still have a plus 2 on that side, and on the right side I still have my negative 34. My variable terms on the left, so I want to move constants to the right. I subtract 2 because it was positive 2. 2 minus 2 gives me 0, so I'm left with 6x equals negative 34 minus 2, which is negative 36. Last step, divide by the coefficient of the x. 6x divided by 6 gives me 1x. Negative 36 divided by 6 gives me negative 6. Okay, problem number 9. We have two sets of parentheses. We have a set of parentheses on each side that we have to distribute a number that's in front of it. So we're going to do that. On the left side, we're going to say negative 5 times positive 6 gives me negative 30. Negative 5 times positive 1x gives me minus 5x. On the right side, negative 6 times positive 8 gives me negative 48. Negative 6 times positive 1x gives me minus 6x. Now I've got a variable term and a constant term on the left side, a variable term and a constant term on the right side. I can't simplify either side, so I'm ready to start moving variables to one, constants to the other. I'm going to add 6x to the right side and add 6x to the left side. Negative 6x plus 6x gives me 0, so those cancel out. I'm left with negative 48 on the right side. On the left side I have negative 30. Haven't done anything with that yet. Negative 5x plus 6x gives me positive 1x. I don't write the coefficient of 1. You can if it helps you. Alright, we've got a positive 1x, but on the same side we've got a negative 30. We add 30. Remember, we're concentrating on the sign that's in front of it. It's negative 30, so we're going to add 30 to make that equal 0. We add 30 on the left. We also add 30 on the right. Those cancel out to give me 0, and I'm left with 1x equals negative 18. Okay, problem number 10 suddenly looks very long. We don't see any parentheses, so again, find your equal sign. It's right here in the middle. Look at everything to the left of that. See if there are any things that you can combine to simplify that side. There are things we can combine. Negative 3x plus 8x gives me 5x. Positive 6 minus 4 gives me positive 2. So I write plus 2. So my left side is now simplified down to one variable term, one constant term. On the right side, I look at what I've got. 4 plus 26 gives me positive 30. Minus 2x was the only variable term I had, so there's nothing I can do with that. Now, I'm down to one variable term, one constant term on each side. I think about where I want to take variables. If I take variables to the left, then that means I'm going to add 2x because I had minus 2x on the right side, and I add 2x on the left side. Negative 2x plus 2x combines to give me 0, so those cancel out. I'm left with positive 30. 5x plus 2x gives me 7x. I still have a plus 2 on the left side. It's a positive 2, so I subtract 2. And I get 7x equals 30 minus 2 is 28. Last step, we're always trying to end up with 1x, so 7x divided by 7 gives me 1x. 28 divided by 7 gives me 4. So my solution is 4.